Waitress told the bikers they won't stop following me. Their reaction left the diner silent. The morning sun spilled through the smudged windows of Harper's Diner, casting golden streaks across cracked vinyl booths and chipped coffee mugs. It was the kind of place where time moved slower, where regulars knew each other's orders by heart, and the jukebox hadn't worked since 2003. But today, something was off. Ava stood behind the counter, her fingers trembling so badly she nearly dropped the coffee pot. Her eyes darted toward the door, then to the table near the window where they sat. 3 men who'd been showing up for weeks. They never ordered much, just watched, smirked, waited. Every night after her shift, they'd linger outside, leaning against their car like shadows she couldn't shake. She'd called the police twice. Nothing changed. Her breath hitched as one of them winked at her. Then the low growl of engines echoed outside. The bell above the door jingled as 6 leather-clad bikers stomped in, boots heavy on the worn linoleum. They wore patches that read RLS Angels, not the kind you'd expect to find in a sleepy roadside diner. The leader, a broad-shouldered man with storm-gray eyes and a scar along his jawline, slid into a corner booth without a word. Maddox. Ava forced a smile, grabbed a fresh pot of coffee, and approached. But as she leaned to pour, her hand shook so violently that coffee sloshed onto the table. Maddox didn't flinch. He just looked up, really looked, at her. "You okay, darlin'?" His voice was rough but gentle, like gravel wrapped in velvet. Ava's throat tightened. She glanced toward the other men, then leaned in close, her whisper barely audible over the hiss of the grill. "They won't stop following me." The words hung in the air like smoke. Maddox didn't move, didn't blink, but something shifted in his gaze, something primal, protective. He nodded once, slowly, as if sealing a silent vow. His crew noticed. One by one, their postures changed. The easy banter died. The diner grew quiet. Without another word, Maddox rose. He walked, not rushed, not aggressive, but with the calm certainty of a storm rolling in, toward the 3 men. The room seemed to hold its breath. Even the fry cook stopped scraping the griddle. Maddox leaned down, placing one hand on their table. He spoke low, so low no one else could hear, but the effect was undeniable. The smirks vanished. Their faces paled. One man dropped his fork with a clatter. Within seconds, they scrambled to their feet, muttering apologies that sounded more like pleas, and bolted out the door like chased dogs. Silence fell, thick, stunned, sacred. Maddox turned and walked back to his booth. He left a folded napkin on the counter for Ava. Inside, scrawled in bold, ink-stained letters, "You're safe now. They won't be back." Then, just like that, he and his crew left. The roar of their motorcycles rumbled down the street, fading into the morning mist. Ava sank onto a stool, tears finally spilling over. Not from fear, but from relief. From the sudden, overwhelming certainty that kindness hadn't abandoned her. It had just arrived on 2 wheels, wearing leather and eyes that had seen too much, but still chose to do what was right. From that day on, the 3 men never returned. And every morning at 6:15 a.m., rain or shine, the low rumble of engines could be heard outside Harper's Diner. Never stopping, never entering, just passing by, watching, protecting. Ava never saw Maddox again, but she didn't need to. She felt his promise in every quiet dawn, in every peaceful walk to her car, in every deep breath she could finally take. Sometimes, heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes, they ride Harleys. And sometimes, the most powerful act of courage begins with a whisper and ends with the world falling silent in awe. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Story Tales. We believe in the power of second chances, quiet bravery, and the unexpected kindness that changes lives. Don't forget, comment below and tell us where you're watching from. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And remember, you are never as alone as you think you are. Because somewhere out there, someone might just be riding toward you, ready to stand in your corner when you need it most. Thanks for watching.